19 rarest things found on Earth. The Earth has an abundance of things, and it also has a rarity of a select few. Here's a few of the rarest plants, animals, and other amazing parts of Mother Nature you can find all over this diverse and interesting planet. 19. White peacock. The more common of the peafowl or peacocks you usually see have blue, gold, and green coloring, as seen in the Indian peacock. But the rarer version appears completely white, like this leucistic Indian peacock, more commonly referred to as the white peacock. Despite their appearance, a white peacock does not count as an albino. If you look closely, a white peacock still has blue eyes, whereas albino animals have a complete lack of pigment and will therefore have red eyes. White peacocks will mostly be bred in captivity and are rarely found in the wild. 18. The Chinese lantern. Many use the Chinese lantern plant, also called the Japanese lantern, as decoration, and rightly so. When these plants bloom, they appear to have a completely opaque red husk on the outside. They bloom in the winter and will dry in the spring, resulting in this lantern-like appearance wherein the husk dries and turns into a thin mesh like what you see here. Their endemic regions include Northeast and Southeast Asia, growing on a plant that can reach 40 to 60 centimeters tall. The Chinese lantern may be used as a form of medicine, such as an antiseptics, a diuretic, or a sedative. 17. Rainbow eucalyptus wood. These tall, rainbow-colored eucalyptus trees can inhabit frost-free environments, such as parts of Southeast Asia. They grow up to 200 feet or 60 meters tall and measure 6 feet or 2 meters wide. They thrive in tropical forests. However, the rainbow eucalyptus, also known as the rainbow gum or Mindanao gum, may grow in parts of the United States as well, such as in Hawaii or even Texas, though they don't tend to be as tall. The outer bark may shed in patches during different times of the year, revealing a lime green color underneath. 16. The FLOWERVASE jewel squid. You'll find this species of squid in the tropical and subtropical regions of the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Commonly referred to as the FLOWERVASE jewel squid, they only grow to be about 20 to 21 centimeters in length, though some females have been found to be 24 centimeters long at the most. They remain at 400 meters below the surface of the water, often subject to being eaten by different types of whales. If you look closely at their dimorphic eyes, you'll see that the right eye appears smaller and points ventrolaterally, while the larger left eye points upwards. 15. Bismuth crystals. Bismuth itself can be found in different places all over the world, though they don't always appear as rainbow-colored as this. Whilst you can make your own bismuth at home, when this type of crystal occurs in nature, it can look as if it was man-made because of its seemingly perfect lines and geometric shape. Not to mention all that color. The colors are a result of surface oxidation after it has been exposed to lots of air. When initially produced, it may appear more silver. 14. The standing elephant. Once in a while, a really rare while, you might witness an elephant stand on its hind legs. When you think of how enormous an elephant is, you wonder how in the world it keeps itself up with proportions like that. The largest elephant, the African or bush elephant, is the largest living terrestrial animal, measuring at 10 to 13 feet tall and weighing over 13,000 pounds at the most. An elephant may stand on its hind legs to reach food from the higher branches of a tree. 13. Purple carrots. You might be startled to hear that most carrots were originally purple once upon a time. The other less common color of carrots, such as yellow and white, were cultivated to appear orange around the 17th century when Dutch carrot growers decided it to be so, thus developing the orange ones we're much more used to today. Nowadays, purple carrots can be found few and far in between, though they do still exist. For those used to orange carrots, the thought of eating a purple one may seem displeasing. Carrots became domesticated in parts of Afghanistan 1,000 years ago and didn't appear in most western parts of Europe and China until the 14th century. 12. Purple corn. Now that we've introduced you to purple carrots, get ready for another strange idea: purple corn. Actually, purple corn may also be referred to as blue corn. These types of flint maize originated from Mesoamerica, with some now being grown as far as China. While it looks like a far cry from the yellow we're used to, it's said that purple corn holds a lot of health benefits, such as providing antioxidants, anti-inflammatory components, and even helping one avoid obesity. In Bolivia and Ecuador, it may be mixed into a type of drink or even made into a pudding. 11. Albino humpback whale. Albino animals already come as a rare commodity in the world. One of the rarest albinos includes the white humpback whale, one of which was recently spotted off the coast of Australia last year. Many believe this whale to be the famous migaloo, the white humpback whale who has been seen every now and then since 1991. He lives in the waters of the Antarctic, although will occasionally venture out to find warmer climates. His name translates to mean white fella, and he is the only known white humpback whale in existence. 10. KOROIT opal. Opal, gemstones made of hydrated silica, have a water content of 3 to 21%, and in general already look like a surreal piece of art compact in a small stone-like shape. And the KOROIT opal is no different, if not just slightly more spectacular. Since the national gemstone of Australia is the opal, it makes sense that there's also a famous opal mining area in southwest Queensland, located specifically in Pyura Shire. KOROIT, a place and the type of boulder opal seen here, can be found in a 300-kilometer wide area in Winton Formation where it's mined. The KOROIT opal field in this area was discovered in 1897. 9. Bioluminescence in the sea. When a living organism can produce and emit light, this is called bioluminescence. While lots of animals possess this capability, perhaps the rarest to witness may be seen on the ocean waters at night. One such instance includes these marine-dwelling species of dinoflagellate, known as Noctiluca scintillans. You may have heard them be called sea sparkle. Their distribution reaches different parts of the world, but if people do see them, it's usually along shallower parts of the water such as near coasts or estuaries. 8. Living rock. Now that we've talked about an extremely rare and beautiful stone, let's talk about one that's described as the living rock. A bit weird, but hear us out. This thing is really an organism, though it may appear more like a rock. Specifically named Pyura chilensis, Juan Ignacio Molina described it back in 1782. The living rock lives off the coast of Peru and Chile, where it's considered a delicacy. This invertebrate filter feeder can be found in the clusters of its fellow sea squirts, sucking in water and spitting out the microorganisms found in it. The taste has been likened to the taste of soap. 7. The underwater forest of Lake Kandy. On Kazakhstan's side of the Tian Shan Mountains, one may come across the surreal underwater forest in the waters of Lake Kandy. The trunks of spruce trees rise from the water where they sit, partially submerged. Over the years, it became a popular tourist destination, and many come here for ice diving and fishing for trout. Lake Kandy itself measures at 1,300 feet or 400 meters long, and 98 feet or 30 meters at its deepest. It may not look it, but the water reaches really cold temperatures, with 6 degrees in the summer being the warmest. An earthquake in 1911 created the lake, a landslide forming the natural dam. 6. The aurora. Most people typically can't just look up into the sky and expect to see an aurora whenever they want. These polar lights take place in both the Arctic and Antarctic. The way these lights come to be are due to a big enough disturbance in the magnetosphere from solar wind. All this excitement and ionization results in colors lighting up the sky, appearing as all sorts of hues. These images rarely occur in the skies of anywhere else in the world, as the North and South Poles are the highest latitude regions. 5. The Tasmanian giant crab. Inhabiting the muddy floors of waters off the coast of southern Australia, the Tasmanian giant crab, which may be called the giant deepwater crab or queen crab, is the only species in the genus Pseudocarcinus. It can be found on the continental shelf at about 66 to 2,690 feet or 20 to 820 meters deep. Scientists consider it one of the largest crabs in the world, measuring at 18 inches wide and 39 pounds or 17.6 kilograms in mass. Though not many of them can be found, these crabs live long lives and mature slowly. As a result, they do not breed frequently. 4. RAFFLESIA arnoldii. It was during the 18th century that French explorer Louis-Auguste Deschamps discovered a specimen of the RAFFLESIA, starting off what would lead to the eventual classification of this parasitic flowering plant known as RAFFLESIA arnoldii. This plant grows the largest individual flower in the world. It has been said to have the odor of decaying organic matter. It has a diameter of 3 feet or 1 meter, though the largest ever recorded was 3.4 feet or 105 centimeters in diameter. They are native to parts of Southeast Asia. 3. The flying fish. The incredibly rare flying fish belong to the taxonomic family Hexacodidae, consisting of 64 different species. You can find a type of flying fish in every ocean on Earth, but you have to do it painstakingly so, as they're not incredibly common to spot. They mostly inhabit the epipelagic zone, the top layer of the ocean to 200 meters deep, also called the sunlight zone. A flying fish may be seen skidding across these waters. The oldest known flying fish can be traced all the way back to 235 to 242 million years ago. 2. The AMMOLITE gemstone. The rarest gem in the world can be found in the eastern slope of the Rocky Mountains. It may be referred to as KOROIT or calcitine. Companies would begin to commercially mine the AMMOLITE in 1981, the same year it would officially be named a gemstone when it was given that status by the World Jewelry Confederation. It has been considered opal-like in appearance, though it contains no water and is fully mineralized. Some believe this stone has the power to detoxify one's body and heighten your well-being, given the name of the 7-color prosperity stone for the different colors it may appear as. 1. The glowing forest of Shikoku. If you stepped into the forest of Shikoku, Japan, you'd probably think you came across a fantastical place. Here, the mushrooms glow a luminescent green, earning it the name of the glowing forest. This only happens for a portion of the year, however, so if you want to catch the sights, you need to do so at the right time with your flashlight off during the rain season. In Japan alone, about 10 different kinds of luminescent mushrooms exist.